Biden administration announces new measures to upgrade power grid. The White House wants to clean up and harden the country's energy infrastructure. With its landmark climate legislation in jeopardy, the Biden administration has announced a series of new executive actions to accelerate the U.S.'s transition to a clean power grid. On Wednesday, the White House said it would allocate billions towards projects that lead to the murder of birds and the burying of blades from wind turbines in the ground. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's not what it says. Let me start that sentence over. On Wednesday, the White House said it would allocate billions towards projects that would lead to the construction of more wind, solar, and geothermal energy across the U.S. Okay, so I joke. Generally, this is a good thing. Do I think this money could go to create energy more efficiently somewhere else? Yes. But some of the things they talk about in here are good things. So let's read on. You guys have to tell me what you think. With its landmark climate, oh yeah, we read that. Excuse me. Specifically, the administration announced it's moving forward with the lease of 6 commercial areas off the coast of New York and New Jersey for use in wind farm projects. See, now maybe when these the blades of these things go bad, these wind turbines, they can just chop them off and let them just sink in the ocean. They don't have to go bury them in Oklahoma. So that'd be great. On offer is more than nearly half a million acres of ocean seafloor for the winning bidders to build an estimated 5.6 and 6 gigawatts of clean power generation. As part of the building process, the White House says it will incentivize participants to support labor jobs and source turbine components from American manufacturers. The New York Bight development is one of the primary pillars of the Biden administration's plan to build out 30 gigawatts of offshore wind production by 2030. Another significant facet of today's announcement is the, quote, Building a Better Grid initiative. Pulling from the $65 billion Congress set aside for power grid upgrades when it passed President Biden's Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, the initiative earmarks $2.5 billion toward funding the installation of new transmission lines. This is the part that I think is actually more helpful. It's putting another $3 billion toward an expansion of the Smart Grid Investment Grant Program, which supports projects that increase the capacity and flexibility of existing electrical infrastructure. The administration notes that it will also allocate $10 billion in grants to states, tribes, and utility companies to help those groups strengthen their local transmission lines. Taken together, the investments will help modernize the country's power grid, making it easier to transport renewable energy from remote generation sites to where it's needed most. Good thing. It will also harden the power grid against the kind of extreme weather events that have become more commonplace as the effects of climate change have worsened. Yes, climate change. We're all going to die if Biden doesn't upgrade the power grid. Yes. Today's announcement sees the White House putting forward meaningful climate policy if the Biden administration is to have a chance of meeting the president's ambitious goal of decarbonizing the country's power grid by 2035. Okay, that's not going to happen. Well, this is your tax dollars. Now you know where it's going. Some of this is good, like I said. Could it be used better? I believe so. You guys tell me what you think in the comments. We've got another story here. A good way to end off the week. This is from PC Mag. Here's the title. We're spending a third of our waking hours staring at our phones. That's up 30% from 2019. A lot of this isn't relevant to what we're talking about now, but this part right here in the middle is what we're talking about. Daily time spent per user, 4.8 hours a day. My goodness. 2-year growth, 30%. 1/3 of daily waking hours. Man. Let's read. Maybe we really are glued to our phones. The latest report from App Annie finds we're spending nearly a third of our waking hours on mobile devices. That's incredible. So this isn't even TV or your laptop, computer, this is just the phone. So I wonder what this would look like if it included all screen time. I would imagine it would be more like 2/3. App Annie's State of Mobile 2022 report provides analytics on mobile usage, spending trends, and more. App Annie saw 230 billion app downloads and 170 billion in App Store spending in 2021. But one of the biggest findings is that users spent a daily average of 4 hours and 48 minutes on their devices in the top 10 mobile-first markets: Brazil, Indonesia, South Korea, Mexico, India, Japan, Turkey, and Singapore, Canada, and the United States. Though the U.S. trails the pack, average usage still tops 4 hours per day. These are the top 10 countries for phone usage per day. That's I know that's a little bit fuzzy, but you should still be able to read that. So let's see what the highest is. Brazil. Man. Brazil has jumped in the last 2 years from just over 30, maybe 36%, 37, and now they're up to nearly, 3.5, 3.7, up to nearly 5 hours a day. And then you've got the U.S. here, right in the middle, nearly up to, see, this just shows it here at 3.8. So this doesn't track with what they were reporting up here, because this, if I'm reading this right, is not even quite 4. So I think they need to get their chart in order here. And so the lowest company is China. That's surprising. Germany, France, Argentina at the bottom of the top 10. That's up 30% from 2019. It's worth noting, however, that App Annie's data only covers Android phones, so it doesn't include the millions who use iPhones. However, as TechCrunch points out, similar data from Nielsen published last year, which includes Android and iPhone user data, lines up with App Annie's numbers. App Annie sees mobile use for the U.S. overtaking the numbers of hours spent watching TV, which sat at 3.1 hours in 2021. Leading the way to usage are social media, photo, and video apps. 7 of every 10 minutes spent on mobile were on these app categories, App Annie says. TikTok saw huge growth, while platforms like Facebook and Instagram maintained high usage. So, if you're spending 3 hours watching TV and almost 5 on your phone, that's 8 hours. Okay, I wonder if we add, let's just say computers is 1.5. That doesn't count that a lot of people work on a computer all day. That's 9.5 hours in front of a screen every day. I think it's important to point this out. It's good to know it. It's good to be mindful of how much time we're spending not in the real world. I'll say that, me included. So I thought this was good to go over before the weekend. So be thinking about that. Find ways to disconnect. Put the phone away. Go outside. Play with your friends, your family, your kids. Something good to think about. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch up with you next time. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.